Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm figuring I got a little time after work. I'm ready to get something done, not with some of the projects that you've already seen, but the real buggy. It's been down for like 9 months. The most retarded of scenarios, but it had me so frustrated. I just didn't even want to look at it. And this time, the bad part, it's not even my fault. Some months ago, actually no, probably a couple of years ago, I took it to a local shop, had them do a couple things for me. Well, that involved them messing with the rear wheels. I go and remove my rear wheels probably 8 months ago. We're swapping tires. We put a different tire, same size, just different tire. Made the rail look a lot better in the rear. But when I was taking off the tire, I started seeing chipping coming off my brand new brake drums. The drums in all my brakes have less than 100 miles on them. Since I built it and drove it on the street legally, we're talking about 100 miles, maybe pushing it 130 miles maximum. Let me get you on the tripod. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Alright guys, this is what I'm talking about. If you notice right here, you see this, let me get y'all close. I want to make sure you can see this real clear. See this big old area of rust? Well, the reason that's so dished in is that's what was snapping off. When we were taking it off, we were using the impact. Let's see. You notice that one's done the same way. That one's okay. That one is chipped. This one's okay. But if you notice, there's two different kinds of lug studs. Now, when I put on my own wheels, before it ever went to that shop, I had all these. All these should be slightly rusty because the infamous chrome, or impy as everybody knows them, doesn't last. It started getting surface rust, so I went ahead and painted everything. All the chrome on here has been painted over to black. But when I got it from the shop, I didn't realize it's just some time later that I had one of these studs. Actually, I had two of them. There's the other ones around. Oh, it's up top. So I had three of these, two of these. Well, the main issue is look at them. Compare them in size. This one's actually a hair longer. And it has to be like that for the wheels that I have. They have to be a hair longer to compensate because I'm not running stock rims. So that kind of had me furious. But what really had me fired up was how when we impacted everything off, how this whole drum started snapping. Now, I don't know, should I blame it on the manufacturer or the shop? I have a feeling, and this is just my guess or theory, that the shop must have aired them on real tight. That's the only thing I can think of. Because all mine, I normally do them with a four-way. I'll start them with an impact just to barely get it, then I'll just make sure they're torqued down using a four-way. I don't use an impact to torque mine all the way down. But nevertheless, I got to change this drum, but I'm going to go ahead and do both of them. And that's what today's show is going to be on, is go ahead and replace these new drums with even newer drums. Alright, I hope y'all guys are definitely in the frame. So, I guess first thing is going to be first. Gonna go ahead and pull these pins out of the way. Let me see which way I can grab this, get this good. Like I said, this is just something I just didn't want to mess with. It's kind of irritating, especially when I built everything. The reason I went to the shop in the first place is the e-brake cables on this, because everything was shortened down to fit this frame. So the e-brake cables themselves, something went wrong on the inside. I had some dragging that I couldn't personally figure out. So I figured, okay, let's pay a shop that deals with these on a regular basis. Let me go get a hammer, guys. Let me go get a little hammer and we'll finish taking this out. Alright. What I normally... Oh. Pardon me, guys. What I normally like to do, if it's possible, to reuse it. Nope, this is gonna slip off. If you can't reuse it, the hell with it. I got more. But this one, definitely they used, they put definitely seems like too big of a cotter pin in here. Because even I've never had this much problem pulling one out. Try not to break it off in there, it's just easier to go ahead and tap it out. Let me get this tapped out and we'll go ahead and move on to removing the large castle nut. Well, alright. Well, we got that, got the little cotter pin out the way. I guess I need to figure out, out of both the sockets I brought, which one's going to be the correct one. I remember it was one of them, because it's crazy, some of the large sockets that I've bought, never realizing what I'm going to actually use or need. Alright. I guess time, let's see, which way am I going? Well, finally, this sucker's on there. Alright, now I got to get to the adjusting wheel so we can go ahead and turn back the adjustment so I can slip this sucker off. Alright. A little gentle tapping. Like I said, you see the inside of that. That's like almost like completely brand new. Let me see if you can get a kind of a closer look. I mean, literally just about brand new. Oh well. What I'm gonna do now is, pardon me, guys. Come around y'all on the back side. What I got a piece of wood. Nice 1/4 inch. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. What I went ahead and yesterday, and I think this is the part that why it took me 8 months to do this, is just go ahead and buy another brand new set of drums. So went ahead and bought them. I guess got it out the way. Can't really complain anymore. Wasted the entire spring and summer not driving this, so wasn't nobody's fault but mine. Now the question is, did they sell me the right ones? Before I get irritated on camera, I'll be right back. Alright, well, no, that's my fault. I completely apologize. I was about to get irritated. Very tight fit. You got to kind of just rock it in place. Actually, before I just keep rocking, let me go grab a rubber mallet and make it a little bit easier. Slowly tap it in. It's very tight on those splines, which it's a good thing, being that all the vehicle's power is being transferred to this, I guess it's a drum hub something setup is what they refer to it. So that's all I'm going to do is just kind of go around just tapping on it with a rubber mallet and go ahead and get her snug up. Instead of y'all watching me literally beat a dead horse or a drum here, I'll save y'all the agony and I'll be right back with you guys. 2 minutes, just calmly banging on it, and that's why I use a rubber mallet, not to go get a dang sledgehammer. I guess what I'll do is drop the nut. That's exactly what I was planning on doing. It's been a long day doing this after work. In 3 days I put many hours, so I know it's not an excuse, but it's something I want to get done. This side's been sitting up on the jack stand for 8 months. I haven't started this thing in probably the 8 months, and I'm going to kick myself in the butt as soon as I get ready to. Well, I guess let's go ahead and start impacting this sucker on. Alright, with these things, these are already super tight when you're trying to drive this on. There's a specified torque that you're supposed to use, but from dealing with VWs all these years, what I've realized, this thing, by the time you get this fully back, and I just know this from experience on my car, because I know how this thing goes together, how tight everything's going to fit. Mine is basically, as soon as you clear the hole for the cotter pin, you're basically right in there. You're in that home field of what the torque is, and I know you're supposed to check them. You know what? What I put something just a little bit more sensible in there. That is actually too small. Let's go ahead and what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just go ahead and pound in their cotter pin, because I'm not sure if my box has any this big. I'll double check it. I'll go ahead and knock this in, and I'll get right back with you guys. Alright, well, I went and checked my box. I have something that's supposed to be just as thick, but it's like literally a hair shorter. So I'm just going to plop this in. I think it'll work. Yeah, I believe so. Let's see. Get it from the bottom. Actually, let me see if I can get the original to fit, and let me see what I can get to work. I just hate to waste my time, especially if I'm so tired. But I do want to see this thing on all fours and give her a start up. I think that should definitely work. It is a hair shorter, but what I did is pull one up, seat it all the way back and down flat, and I came across the front of the splines, got her nice and tight. So that definitely should ensure that this thing's not going to go flying anywhere. So I guess that we got garbage there as far as the drum. I guess let me move some tools out of the way. You know what? I guess a shop jack would have been handy. Let me grab that shop jack, and we'll go ahead and prepare this thing to get the wheel finally put back on. Well, excited that I got the first one done, but unfortunately, now it's not going to matter to me how I take these lug nuts off, because I hear crackling as I'm taking this thing off. I hear that distinctive sound. Why I've decided to go ahead and replace this drum too. It's like, I hope the company that made these didn't expect that every time you get your tire changed, you go ahead and get a new brake drum while you're at it. Because this on the road could have been catastrophic. And I am so glad that nothing bad happened. I was able to catch it and be done with it. Sooner or later, yep, there she goes. Well, I've got five of these. They're gonna go to the side. They go in a big old huge coffee can I got of lug bolts. Can't never have enough. I mean, really. You know what, let's put my phone there, take it out the pocket. Apologize, today's show is not is normally what I'm up to par. Like I said earlier, This is a very long day for me, but if I don't get this done now, it's like a lot of things, they're just never going to get done. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just break this sucker, because I know I'm not going to plan on reusing it. Where's my little hammer? If I'd have broke the other one, maybe I should be actually trying to hit left-handed. I'm right-handed. There we go. It's the way it's supposed to come out, and you kind of see, get y'all a little close-up shot, how it's got a little funky bend. It's not really worth using, to me, once they get that little bend, they get hard to mess with. It's not worth using them. You know what? Good old impact. Let me be right back with y'all guys. I know you don't want to hear all this racket. The trick I found, try to run it out, switch it, try to run it in, back and forth, back and forth. Do that about 4 or 5 times and just let it go, lay in on it. And what's funny is I see the edges getting ready to start doing the same exact thing the other side did. I guess let me pull, let me see. Here she goes. A little gentle rocking works too. I mean, you can see the condition of this one. Hopefully you can see it. Besides a little bit of dust in the bottom, nothing wrong with it. It's alright. Got a nice brand new one. You know what, thinking about it, I need to go back, just check the adjustments on these, but I think that'll be the last thing. Just want to get this thing for tonight, get it back on all fours, and enjoy it. Probably go ahead and actually get it started up, burn some of the fuel out of the tank. Woo! Can't believe it. She's on there. That's really about it. Usually hand spin that on, get her going, try to get her all the way down before I even bother with the impact. Change directions. Where was it at? Sometimes if your eyes fail you, I just go around and poke. Ah, right there. Let's see. think we'll put it this way. Before we bend both of them. Definitely don't want to bend both of them in the same exact direction. Then it defeats, to me, it defeats the purpose of using these. And that's just in case somebody doesn't know what the purpose of the little pins. It's for any other reason, to keep the castle nut or whatever nut that you're trying to lock in place. Keeps it from backing out. Lets it hold right there. Keeps it from coming free, from working its way loose. If it does get a little bit loose, it just won't just take off on you. Guess get to open the second pack. Where's the old trusty screwdriver? What happens when you don't keep your knife on? You're just trying to rip into some crazy plastic. Here we go. Just like the brake drum, take a good look. Nice, clean, and shiny. Won't last. I give it probably 6 months, if that. They'll turn nice rusty. Not gonna bother to paint it. I mean, it is my real buggy. Take a look at those nice, shiny lug studs. Those, after a month, I guarantee will not be shiny. That's just the funny part. It's like I was saying earlier. You know, we get exactly what we pay for. And what I paid for was some nice chrome lug studs. I'm not complaining. The part I am complaining about is these. This lug stud just happens to be on the expensive side. They're about, I believe, $15. Might not sound expensive to you, but are coming in. Come on, it's just literally same. I guess you would compare it to studs. What do you call that? Imagine going to the hardware store and buying some nuts and bolts, and you spent 15 bucks on 5 of them. But I think the part that I would be complaining about is if a company's going to bother to make them chrome, why not make them so they actually last? Whoa. Did I go a hair too much? Yep. Well, use that to my advantage. Go ahead and, well, I was going to say, let's go ahead and get one started, but I see, darn thing didn't want to screw right in. And again, I'm using my left hand to do something, and I'm right-handed. Maybe I'm just losing my mind and sitting here babbling on when I should actually just jack this thing up just a hair so it lines all up. There we go. See? Told y'all, if y'all don't know me yet, y'all will. Get a little tired, get a little loopy, and babble on, but have fun working at the same time. And ooh, that looks like got me in the right side, the right place. You know what? How about this, guys? Let me go ahead and finish this. I'll go ahead and get these on, get it tightened up for tonight. Why don't we? Let me go in the house, grab the keys. Why don't we start this up thing? Let's start it up together. Look at that, guys. She's back on all fours. No jack stands or nothing. She's back on all fours. Brakes are done. I went through, double checked, took the wheels back off, double checked all the adjustments. I've got it just sitting in gear right now. But I figured, hey, let's all share this together. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do, if I don't make y'all guys busy first, whoa, I apologize. Why don't we slowly bring y'all up? Give y'all a little bit better height. I can let y'all guys experience this with me. Whoa, I apologize again. She's It's so dirty from just sitting out here with the pollen and everything else. Alright, I guess I'll put the safety in, turn that on, make sure park and brake. Kind of curious to see if the battery's still got any juice in it. I think it goes upside, yep, key upside down. Carburetor kind of felt like stuck. Trying to prime the filter and everything right now. It's gonna take it a second. You know what? Let me grab some fuel. I'll just put some fuel down straight into the carb. Otherwise, I'm gonna be sitting here wasting my time with this thing. Oh, I apologize. This is taking a little longer than I wanted. Having to take the little wing nut off, and I have a super long stud for some reason. Shows you sometimes you go out and buy accessories not even sure what you're buying, or not literally caring what you're buying. Alright, let's prime this carb. Just a little bit of fuel. I don't want to go haywire. Fill up the bowls since this thing hasn't been filled up in a long time. Let me go ahead and get the battery charger put on it since the battery's weak. Well, got the old battery charger. Has a couple different features, but the main one I like, unlike my other one, it has a start feature. So we hook it up. I already got it set to what I want. Plug her in, she's humming away. And let's see if we can do this again. Trying to check, alright, it's got a little bit of fuel. It smells like old fuel, but just a small squirt is all I'm doing. It might look like I'm using the whole can, no. Just enough to get her primed. Alright guys, give me a moment, let me see if I can figure out what's going on with this thing. Alright guys, I kind of figured out what's going on. It's not my fault this time, thank God. About a month and a half ago, I came out here and I was talking with some friends out here. And noticed my gas cap was sitting right there. Well, I found it very peculiar that my cap would be sitting on top of the ammo box, so there should be no reason that anybody's ever messed with it. So I just left it at that. I was like, okay, somebody's screwing with me. They had my cap off. Everything needs cleaning. I don't know why I'm doing that. I need to clean everything. I'm going to actually pressure wash this thing down. But what I think has happened, since that's ethanol gas in there, and I despise that stuff, leaving the cap off has brought ethanol into the fuel. Now it's probably got water and it's trying to go through the carburetor. That's why when I hold the throttle down, she'll run, but she won't stay running. So, not going to be upset. This is just a project for another day. I'll disconnect the fuel line. I went ahead and I had a zip tie holding it up all the way from the motor right there. I had one right there. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and undo it from the fuel pump, bring it down, drain the entire fuel out, and I'll probably go ahead and get some 87 non-ethanol fuel in here. Best thing I could do for now, so I'm not going to complain about it. We'll just go ahead and just do it. Well guys, I'm about to call this video done. Got my goal of the day done, and that's to have these tires back on the ground. No more jack stand. My buddy can, if you remembered, he even left that just stand there. He can come back and get it now. Well guys, I appreciate it as always. Thumbs up if you like the videos. Questions, concerns, comments, put them down right down below, and you can always hit that little button to subscribe. I'm your host, Masters32210. Thank you so much.